Hey guys, welcome to our live Q&A for Sunday night.
Thanks for joining the show.
I know it's usually Sunday morning, but I just had a baby and the baby likes to keep me up all night. So instead of Sunday morning, we're doing Sunday night.
Ryan gets a pass this week, guys. So we're supposed to answer these questions last week. We tried to get together, couldn't find the time, so here we are. We only had a few questions, so this will be a quick one.
I like to actually use the baby as a pass for everything though.
Sure.
Anytime I'm late, anytime I don't want to show up to something, I'm like, look, I just had a kid 2 weeks ago. What do you want?
Turkey.
He's 14 days old.
Yeah.
I need to take care of him, okay?
Yeah, seriously.
So what we're going to do is jump into some of the questions that we got from Twitter.
Now, what were the questions on? We asked for specific questions. What series was it?
Well, there were some times that we did, and we kind of handled those questions that we took on specific items like large cents or commemoratives or...
That was fun.
Gold, I don't remember. We did all kinds of stuff.
We did a few.
Yeah, but as usual, our friend Ultra High Relief on Twitter is the #1 question asker, and for that, you win a prize.
He always comes through with something good for us. So what's the first question?
Okay, first question is, how do you identify a penny made of zinc, copper, steel, aluminum, and bronze? And then there's a second part to the question, but that's the first part.
Well, obviously.
Good luck, John.
I mean, certain years, certain types of pennies were made with certain textures. Obviously, during the middle of the World War II, the penny was made out of steel, the very famous Steely, and of course, the bronze pennies of the year are very rare and very famous. So that certainly was a year when you had an off metal that was being used. And right around that same era, 42, 43, 44, I think was also an era when they were kind of testing out other surfaces and other metals as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And why did we go to a different metals comp in 1943? Do you remember?
Why we went to a different composition?
Yeah, why we went to a different metal from copper. You remember what they might have used copper for?
Ammunition.
Yes.
We were in the middle of World War II.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they used it for bullets. We had to send lots of them downrange to the Germans,
That's right.
and so we switched from German to steel and made the Steelies.
Hence the Steely, right?
That John just talked about a little bit.
Right. No, it's cool. It's a cool coin. It really is.
Exactly. And
a lot of people think it's a rare coin for that year because it's different, but yeah, it actually is the common coin for that year. So yeah, they are worth more than face value, but just by maybe a few dollars.
And you're talking about the Steelies. Yeah, if they're in good condition, maybe $10. But
right.
I mean, we're not talking about anything phenomenal here.
No, it's a collectible coin. It's fun. It's definitely historic. But yeah, it's not going to make you any money.
What is of great value, though, is the 1943 copper penny, of which the lunch specimen, the lunch lady specimen, I think I called it earlier,
just recently sold at auction. Yeah, and it's one that has one of the cooler pedigrees. A story that's been known for quite some time throughout numismatic circles. And this coin has finally come to auction. The gentleman who owned it, who got it in lunch in the 60s, I believe.
It was, yeah. He was
yeah.
in elementary school and had given the lady his lunch money, got one of them back, and didn't think anything of it for decades.
Right.
And then, lo and behold, he finds out his coin's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Super cool. Super cool. It's like winning the lottery. I mean, that rarely happens to anybody.
And that is going to come up for auction this year. I believe it may be Long Beach, one of the Long Beach shows.
No, that one just sold
Dallas.
in auction.
Oh, did it?
That's the one that just sold in auction.
How much did it bring?
At the fun show, it went for over $200,000.
Wow. $200,000 for a penny.
Yeah.
Man, amazing. Mr. Monkey Swag 96. Welcome to the feed, my friend.
Hey there.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them down in the comments section below there. And we're just going to keep on answering the questions from before that we got. And the second part of this question is what years to look for different metals compositions. And I think we just answered that. I believe 1943 is the only year that they did copper versus steel. And I don't think there's any others.
But again, there is that bronze cent as well. And you know what? In all fairness, I'm not sure if the bronze cent was made that same year, but I know it's another variety of that same.
That's 43 as well, is it not?
I think it is.
And I believe it's a specimen.
Yeah.
Not a regular issue.
And then I think there is a 44 Steely.
Is there?
Isn't there? I think there's a few 44 Steelies that are out there.
Right.
I believe if you guys know the answer to this, make sure you put it in the comments. Let us know. And if you have the right answer and we do some research on it, we'll maybe even send you guys a little something for fun.
Okay. Mr. Monkey Swag 96 says, why is the peace dollar market soft? Is it because baby boomers flood the market with mint state coins? Even the 1928 key date is cheap.
I don't know if I would say cheap necessarily, but I mean it's still a pretty valuable coin. However, yeah, I think for the majority of people do love the Morgan dollar. The peace dollar has played second fiddle to the Morgan for years.
Oh, absolutely. And the funny thing is, peace dollars are actually rarer. If you go to the population reports, you add them all up, peace dollars are about 30% rarer than Morgans, but you go to any rare year, you go to any condition, and it's actually cheaper to buy a peace dollar. That's true all the way from circulated grades all the way up to the highest mint state grades that you can get.
And I personally prefer the peace dollar. It has a simpler design. It doesn't have all the stars going around the obverse. It has a really subtle eagle on the reverse sitting on that rock that says the word peace. It originally was supposed to be intended to be a one-year commemorative after World War I, but the American public fell in love with the coin and continued to make it until 1935, I believe.
Exactly. Okay, so the next question from our friend Ultra High Relief on Twitter is, how a new or any collector avoids the rip-offs of mints offering new issues at pricey retail. And what he uses as an example is the New Zealand Mint 2-ounce Ultra High Relief. He paid $175 in OGP, original government release packaging, and later saw a certified Mint State 69 on eBay sell for $100.
I don't know about you, Ryan, but I mean, personally, I always see the modern issues as more of a collectible, right? So if you're buying a modern coin, you're buying it at spot price, great. You got a wonderful deal. That's the right price point.
Or close.
Or close. But even myself, I mean, I have acquired a Superman or a Justice League 1-ounce silver coin, and I've spent $70 on it, knowing that that melt value is really worth $15 to $20. But because that means something to me, I'm willing to acquire that and to own it. But I do recognize it is more of a collectible at that point than a resellable asset.
I'm going to say that a good rule to stick to, even if it's the rarest mint issue you can imagine, like the Palladium Eagle that they minted 15,000 of.
Super cool.
If it's 20 to 30% over melt price, that's great. If it's any more than that, you're probably paying too much. And I don't know anything about the foreign mint products, New Zealand, Australian mint, the Perth mint, in other words, any of those.
Yeah.
If they're offering them 2, 3, 4 times spot value, I would go ahead and stay away from that. That just sounds like way too much money.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
Okay. So the next question is from Coins and CW Bullets. This is at Arrowhead Broken on Twitter. He says, Dear the Coin Show, my fingers hurt from opening bankrolls in search of love. I mean coins. Is there a special ointment that the extreme bankroll hunter can put on his fingertips to keep them from splitting?
This guy.
Signed, Achy Breaky Fingers, fines in 5 years, 2 buffaloes, 6 wheat pennies.
Yeah, I see how it is, bro. I see how it is. When my fingers start getting cracked in the wintertime, I just go out to the normally to the Home Depot or Home Base, and I get some of that mechanic stuff that they use for the really cracked fingers, and that's what I use, bro. But come on, man. That's not a real question.
You know what? It kind of is, though.
Oh, whatever.
Because Chad, at Coins for Amateurs, at Chadwick Cernio, said that when he roll hunts, he actually did get cracked and bleeding fingers, literally, until he got strongman fingers and, built up calluses.
Okay.
Just because you and I haven't hunted rolls, we're kind of soft.
I believe it, but whatever. I see how it is still.
John thinks that he's trolling him, but I feel
he's trolling us.
I think it's a half troll and a half legitimate question.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah.
So I think that may have been the last question.
There was one more here, but I think we're going to have to do it next time because I meant to take it down from Twitter and didn't. So ultra high relief, no need to worry. We're going to go ahead and answer your question next week. I know it did relate to the trade dollar that was just popped out of a NGC holder and put in a PCGS holder at a lower grade.
Yeah, we should definitely talk about that. Can't wait to get into that one.
Yeah, that was red hot. So he was asking if it had been downgraded from a Proof 66 to a Proof 65 and what was the controversy and all that. So stay tuned.
Controversy.
Oh, big time. We'll get into that next week. Make sure you leave your questions on Twitter. Everybody from #SaturdayNightCoinShow. Make sure you ask us questions there. And sorry we were gone for a little bit, but we're glad to be back.
We're glad to be back. And make sure you like and subscribe, follow on Twitter, retweet, follow us on Facebook, and wherever else we post our content.
Especially Facebook.
Especially Facebook. And Instagram. Get us on Instagram.
Yeah. All right.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
See you.